were told to flee floodplains, with over 12,000 homes reported without power. Heavy rainfall in the Pacific Northwest caused by an atmospheric river, a band of extremely moist air, has led to overflowing rivers, closed highways and stranded residents. More than 30 major highways are currently closed. Authorities are urging people to follow evacuation orders and avoid floodwaters, which can hide strong currents and debris. Local officials are also warning of possible mudslides and damaged riverbanks. Let's in fact listen into the Washington State Governor Bob Ferguson.
On highways, the number of highways, significant highways that have closed since last night has doubled. We're now at 30 or 31 highways across our region that have closed, including here in Skagit County, SR 20 and SR 530, those due to flooding. So it's a major impact, obviously, to our state in many, many ways. I just highlight that as one example of the evolving situation we're facing, where literally overnight we doubled the number of highways, major highways, that have closed.
And I now request Mr. Vickery to join us back into the discussion here. Mr. Vickery, do tell us about the situation there in Washington. How are the evacuation operations going on, and when is the situation expected to improve?
Well, thanks for letting me comment on this as well. I think that there are two aspects to this story. It is absolutely clear that devastation is taking place on an unprecedented scale in the Northwest, which is the home to Microsoft and high-tech activity, and very vital to the economy of the United States. At the same time this is going on, there was to be a meeting yesterday concerning the so-called streamlining of the Federal Emergency Management Agency, which is put together to provide a national response to such catastrophes. That meeting was canceled because it was scheduled in order to be able to cut down the size of it and supposedly transfer functions to the states. This is a completely unviable approach and is indicative of why you can't just operate willy-nilly in terms of trying to cut down the size of the federal government. The other aspect of this, which I think should be noted, is that of climate change. President Trump has denied that there is any human action causing climate change, calling it a hoax and so forth. And yet we have these unprecedented historic floods, which are taking place now in Washington state, but are taking place all over the world, including in India and Spain and so forth. It is not the case that we as a species, as human beings, can simply continue to ignore what is before us in terms of floods, fires, which, if not caused by, at least are very much exacerbated by climate change. So the answer to your question is that this is a very, very serious situation, because we have weakened our institutional abilities to deal with this kind of climate-related catastrophe.
All right, thank you for sharing that with us, Mr. Vickery, but I'd request you to stay on for one final discussion. Viewers, Democratic lawmakers demanded the resignation of U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. They accused